Welcome to Creative Genius Labs. I'm your host, Zane Wild. Today, on Creative Genius Labs, imagine finding your life's purpose not in fleeting success, but in embracing failure at age 36, and in doing so, inspiring millions of Americans. Today, we explore how an ordinary person can become a cultural revolutionary, and what might shock you is how close you are to doing it too. Picture a dimly lit Parisian restaurant in 1948. The kitchen's rhythmic clatter fades to a single, crisp sound, a bite. A half-eaten roasted chicken gleams on a white plate, its golden skin crackling with promise. This isn't just a meal. This is a moment of awakening. A voiceover whispers, she was 36 when she finally tasted life. You might think this is just another story about cooking, but this is a story about something far more profound, discovering your passion when the world tells you you're past your prime. This is about Julia Child, a woman who would transform not just American cuisine, but the very notion of what's possible when you refuse to accept ordinary as your destiny. At 32, Julia was lost, privileged but purposeless. Her diary entries screamed of unfulfilled potential. I am sadly an ordinary person, with talents I do not use, but ordinary, far from it. Imagine Pasadena, California, manicured lawns, pristine social expectations, and in the middle of it all, Julia, a 62 tornado of restless energy. Wild and a lively prankster, she never quite fit the mold. While other young women of her social class planned tea parties, Julia was plotting something entirely different. Her early years were a patchwork of false starts. Too tall to join the military during World War II, she found her way into the OSS, a role that would hint at her future resilience. Methodical, fearless, completely unexpected. Her work in intelligence revealed something crucial. Julia was never meant to follow a predetermined path. She was designed to create her own. Each seemingly random experience, her height, her intelligence, her refusal to be confined, was quietly preparing her for a revolution she couldn't yet imagine. Picture Julia, the only woman in a professional cooking class at Le Cordon Bleu. Surrounded by seasoned chefs, she stood out, not just in height, but in spirit. Her early cooking attempts, hilariously disastrous. Her husband Paul's response, I was willing to put up with that awful cooking to get to Julia. This was her first lesson, and yours. Passion matters more than perfection. The 1950s American food landscape was a battlefield of convenience. Processed meals, TV dinners, instant everything. Julia's commitment to fresh, authentic French cuisine was a radical act of rebellion. Imagine the contrast: sleek, artificial food culture versus Julia's passionate dedication to real, lovingly prepared meals. This wasn't just cooking. This was a cultural revolution served on a plate. Then came her first major setback. Julia failed her Cordon Bleu final exam. The disappointment was crushing. You can almost see her face falling, her energy draining. This was the moment most people would give up. But Julia wasn't most people. Instead of surrendering to her internal critic, the voice telling her she was ordinary, she used the failure as fuel. She wasn't trying to become a celebrity chef. She was trying to become herself. For years, she meticulously tested recipes. Her obsession became her craft. Her unique charm grew with each experimental dish. This wasn't just cooking. This was a methodical search for her unique flavor, the special ingredient she would bring to American tables. Rejection after rejection followed. Publishers didn't understand her vision. The culinary world seemed closed to her, but Julia kept pushing, kept believing. If you're enjoying Creative Genius Labs, please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code for our free 7-day email course, The Master Creators Challenge. Unlock hacks that make Da Vinci, Banksy, and Lady Gaga creative giants. Now, back to the episode. Then it happened. Mastering the Art of French Cooking was published. This wasn't just a cookbook. This was a manifesto that would shake the foundations of American culinary culture. Her Cambridge kitchen, now immortalized in the Smithsonian, became more than a cooking space. It was a symbol of democratization. Fine dining wasn't just for restaurants anymore. It was for every home, every person willing to try. When Julia stepped onto television, she rewrote the rules. No editing, no perfection, just raw, authentic cooking. She dropped things, she made mistakes, and she laughed. This was revolutionary. In an era of pristine TV personalities, Julia showed vulnerability. She gave home cooks permission to be imperfect, to experiment, to play. Her show wasn't just about recipes, it was about breaking free from fear. Each episode was a rebellion against culinary intimidation. Julia created more than shows. She wrote 18 cookbooks, founded culinary organizations, but her impact transcended food. She was changing how Americans saw themselves. Imagine the cultural shift. Women watching her weren't just learning to cook. They were learning they could rewrite their own stories. At 36, Julia proved it was never too late to start something extraordinary. France awarded her the Légion d'honneur. The United States presented her the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Yet these external accolades meant less to her than the internal journey. She faced criticism from traditionalists, culinary gatekeepers who didn't understand her mission. But Julia knew something profound: true innovation always meets resistance. So here's your challenge. What passion are you postponing? Julia found her calling at 36 and transformed an entire culture. What might you discover if you embrace your own "what the hell" attitude? The ordinary woman had become an extraordinary force, not by accident, but by choice, by refusing to accept the limitations others placed on her, by believing in her own unique flavor. As the story closes, imagine a diverse group of people in kitchens across America, cooking, experimenting, laughing at their mistakes, Julia's true legacy. So, how will you use the ingredients of your life to create something remarkable? The pan is hot. The kitchen is waiting. Your recipe begins now. On the next episode of Creative Genius Labs, Julia Child fearlessly redefined culinary boundaries, encouraging us all to embrace our mistakes and find joy in the kitchen. But what happens when a chef doesn't just break the rules, but reinvents the entire game? Imagine a world where food becomes art, science, and a philosophical statement all in one. This week, we explore culinary innovators, and the next story will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about fine dining. Prepare to witness the rise of a culinary revolutionary, someone who dared to ask, "What if?" His relentless pursuit of gastronomic innovation led to both critical acclaim and fierce controversy, and left a lasting impact on the world of food. You won't want to miss this. Please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code, or follow the pinned link to get our free 7-day email course, The Master Creators Challenge. 7 days, 7 creative legends. Unlock your inner creative genius using the secret tactics of history's most revolutionary artists. Click the video that just popped up to watch the next one in this series. Or for episode summaries, behind-the-scenes info, and more, go to daily8.com/CGL. Thanks for watching.